Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the difference between formal and informal writing. We do this on a daily basis, whether it's you're talking to your parents or talking to your teachers, talking to other friends. We're consistently doing that. So formal writing is mostly geared toward a certain purpose or toward certain people. And then informal writing is geared for a certain purpose or toward certain people. So let's look at what we have. When you read a book, in most instances, you're reading in formal style. When you write a letter, most instances, you're writing in a formal style. Also, when you send out an invitation or you're writing an invitation, you're doing that in a formal style. Some examples of words that will be used when you're dealing with formal styles are words like hello, how are you, and that is great. So formal versus the informal. Now, when you're talking about the informal, in those instances, most times you're talking with someone that you are familiar with, someone that you know personally. So if you're sending an email to someone that you know personally, it could be informal. If you're sending a text message or either even some letters to someone that you know, it can be informal. Some of the informal language that you might use might be something like hey, or what's up, howdy, and cool. So instead of saying hey in the informal, if you were being formal, you would say hello. And instead of saying what's up in the informal, in the formal, you could say how are you or how are you today? And instead of saying cool or that's awesome or whatever, you could say that is great. So we're discussing formal versus informal and some of those cue words that you might see that are going to lead you to determine whether you're dealing with formal or informal. All right, so our first one, let's look at that one. Will you please close the door on your way out? Now, this one would be considered formal. Now, you know that it's formal because you don't see any informal terms. Now, let's look at the next one. Dude, I can't believe you got a new game system. All right, so there should be a clue word there that allows you to know that this is informal. If you said dude was that word, you are right. Now, informally, if you're talking to a friend or someone that you know personally, someone that is the same age that you are, then dude would be appropriate in an informal setting. But when you're dealing in a formal setting, if you were talking to your teacher or to your parent, you probably wouldn't address them by saying dude. So again, formal versus informal. Most times, formal conversations and writing are going to take place between people that don't know each other personally. It would be something more of a professional setting. If you're writing a letter to your teacher, or if you're writing a letter to the school newspaper, or to your principal, if you're reading a book, you're going to see more of a formal writing style. When you're dealing in a more informal, those text messages that you send your friend or that you receive from friends, those emails that you might send between your friends, messages on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever other type of social medias that you may use, those would be considered informal. And be aware of those informal terms. So when you see those, you will know that you're dealing with an informal situation. So again, formal versus informal. We've looked at our two sentences. We see that one is a formal statement because of the language that's being used, and then we see that the other one is informal because of the language that's being used there. So again, don't forget with these videos to look in the document sections of the videos. You're going to see other handouts and information that you can use to help you better understand what's going on with formal and informal. You'll also have some extra practice there. So that concludes our lesson for today on formal and informal, and I'll see you guys on next time.